If you're getting paid good for that one fight, why don't we do it 3 times this year? We're gonna get more money anyway. It's a no-lose situation. It's all up. It's all a win. Everything's a win. You're fighting, you're getting in shape, you're getting paid more money than you ever did before.
For a Floyd Mayweather that is clearly going broke, this is the truth. There is no speculation, but I told you guys, Floyd owes a lot of people a lot of money, and he don't have it. Logan Paul also discussed this, and this is probably the best screenshot I couldn't gotten on this video. My God, his ramen noodle hair is flying in the wind, and there's no wind in that place. But Logan dropped some knowledge that Floyd is still scamming him for their 2021 fight.
Mike Tyson reportedly revealed that Floyd Mayweather Jr. asked for extra money in his fight contract, even while facing financial pressure. This raised serious questions about Floyd's situation, with many people wondering if he is struggling financially and trying to cover it up through bigger fight deals.
I'm gonna hate on Floyd, so they will want to see the fight. They want to see Floyd get beat. But are they going to fight?
I know they're going back and forth.
Yeah, I don't think they would matter. If he wants to make some money, Floyd want to make some money. If he wants to make some money, he could fight.
Opinion, saying the real sad part is not bankruptcy itself, but the fact that someone who earns so much money could still end up in financial trouble. He believes this shows poor money management rather than lack of income.
He owed so much money to them and had apparently not much of it in liquidity, not much that he could actually spend, or at least that's what his representative said. His representatives wrote back to the IRS, this true story, you guys can look it up, that he could not make the payment. He couldn't do it. He didn't have $22 million liquid in cash for a guy that had made, up until that point, let's just say $900 million, because he made $300 million fighting Connor. He didn't have $22 million sitting around in a bank for all that cash he's flexing, for all those cars, for all the places. And again, I'm not saying that multi-millionaires and billionaires have $1 billion liquid, but you couldn't have found 22 mil. So his representative said, wait, we're going to have this.
Joe Rogan also pointed out that Floyd earned huge amounts of money during his career, more than most athletes ever will. However, his expensive lifestyle and heavy spending may have caused serious financial problems, proving that even massive wealth needs smart management.
Much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits, like he hasn't been paying things and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he got to be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where it shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. You got to show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like $3 million.
Back 100 gave a different view, saying that the media is exaggerating the idea that Floyd is broke. According to him, Floyd may not be fighting again because he needs money, but because he is bored and still wants attention and action in his life.
Rule number one is, if Floyd ain't talking about it and Floyd ain't promoting it, then it's just talk.
They're accusing him of going broke because he's looking for these fights.
They've been accusing Floyd of going broke for 20 years. Now, let's talk about going broke. Maybe down to 200 million. Maybe that's his broke. I don't know.
Maybe that's his broke.
What I do know is his homes is still there, because when he tell me to come see him, it's the same addresses. Every time he called me, it's stars on the roof. Right? So I don't know, unless somebody is hacked into this man's finances, they always accuse the man of going broke. So maybe he's bored.
Maybe. Jordan explained that boxing is now growing even more because of new platforms like Netflix, which are paying fighters huge amounts. He believes that a potential fight involving Floyd and Mike Tyson could generate massive money and bring even more attention to the sport.
To evolution. Netflix started as a concept that used everyone else's content. and then started to commission their own content. They started to make their own films. You know, The Irishman was a film made for Netflix with Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci, and they started to build out their own content. They're now a business that has huge reach, huge opportunity, and sports is a massive passion center. It's a massive driver. Why would you not have versions of sport? They've dipped their toes in with Drive to Survive and all the other different shows that have ultimately been in the past, which whether it was them that did Drive to Survive, I can't remember. But so, you know, and I'm surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Amazon come and play more regularly in this. And what it is, and what it should be, is good for the sports in terms of the economics that they bring to the sports. The more eyes that are on the prize, the wider the net, the bigger the interest levels come. You know, I remember talking to Turkey Al Sheikh about Netflix, because obviously
Dan LeBatter talked about how incredible Floyd's earnings really are, saying very few athletes in history have made that much money. He explained that Floyd mastered the pay-per-view system, allowing him to keep most of the profits himself. Floyd worked like an independent businessman, controlling his own deals and promotions, which made his success almost unmatched. However, LeBatter also said that losing such huge amounts of money would require extremely poor financial decisions, something that is hard to...
You know, athletic money being blown is a bit of a cliche. There are very few athletes ever who have made the kind of money that Floyd Mayweather has made. And because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is or has been a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of
Floyd reportedly filed a $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and executive Stephen A. Spinoza to recover money. Over his career, Floyd is believed to have earned more than $1.2 billion from fights alone. However, reports suggest that his spending may have reached nearly $1 billion over the years. There are stories showing his extreme lifestyle, like paying $10,000 in cash just for beach chairs. Comparisons are often made to boxing figures like Don King and Muhammad Ali, showing how money in boxing has always been complicated. Even with losses, Floyd still earned more than stars like Tom Brady, which shows both his success and the difficulty of managing such wealth.
January 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Stephen Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion over the course of his career and just earnings from fights.
Yeah, I think a question though that you should also ask outside of like how much has he made is how much has he spent, you know? Because I would say he's fully capable of spending close to $1 billion in the last 25 years.
You say that, but I not to turn into the movie Brewster's Millions from the 1980s. It's hard to spend that money. It really is hard to spend that much money and end up in a situation where you have to fight at 49 because you're so used to a lifestyle that brings in giant amounts of money